Hey guys, how are you? So it looks like we got almost everybody here, so I gave enough time for that. Sorry, I'm just looking at a message I got. All right, so let's see. We got some questions here from Daphne. Um, I was giving enough time for everybody to be present because it's very, very important you guys pay attention and you have no distractions. I already see some of you are in the car, some of you are just walking around. Make sure you have no distractions when it comes to this chapter because you need to pay attention. It's not like I'm just going to be talking, I have to show you stuff. So you need to be paying full attention to this. Make sure you have a calculator as well, a simple calculator. Your phone is not the one you should be using because the calculations do come out differently. It doesn't round up to the nearest dollar. It has all other different types of tools that you can use on your phone. And when you go to the state exam, it's the simplest calculator you can find. So your computer has a calculator. Worst case scenario, use the one that's on your computer. All right? Very important. Guys, before I start, I see some of you are distracted. Some of you are talking. Some of you are not here. Make sure you get back to me. This is the one chapter that I'm going to be as annoying as I can be for you guys to pay attention. Okay? Did you hear me, everybody? Thumbs up if you heard me. Some of you still not hearing me, but it's okay. Okay, I'm going to do a roll call. Okay. Roll call. I got Andrea, Jane, Catherine, Anthony, Lena, Abanub, I see you, Stephen, Geraldine, where are you? Carlos, Daphne, Nicole, Natalie, Vanessa, Luz, I need you to pay attention. You're somewhere in San Francisco right now. I need you to be here with me and no distractions, please. Brian, Talia, I see you. Crystal, I see, I guess, something. Your hand somewhere there. Okay, cool. Chad, Gil, Heather, Yanessa, Mina, Youssef. Try to get to a computer as quick as possible. This is the one chapter, guys. That one chapter that you need to pay attention. 100%. Sabrina, back on the couch. Joseph, I see you. Who else? Linda, I see you right there. Okay. What was that you were drinking? Vodka and orange juice? Yep. Okay. We got Sarah, Sandra, Perla, Meredith, David Gonzalez, I see you. Cool. Is there anybody that I did not call? I think I got everybody. All right. Whoever's driving, I'm going to say one more time. Try to get off the car, stop, do whatever you got to do. Thank you for the comment, Perla, on the Zoom chat. That's awesome. Catherine, you can't find a calculator. What computer do you have? Let me know which computer you have. Mina, you're on your way home, okay. You have a Mac. That's why. Okay. Okay. Go to your Finder. So you can click Command and Spacebar. Go to your Finder and type Calc. Or go to the apps and scroll to the right. It should be there under utilities, somewhere there. I have to do tech support as well. Return of the Mac. Yep, that's right. I need to have these songs ready to just put them, right? Return of the Mac. All right. Yeah, I know that stuff. Don't look at me like that, Sabrina. She's like he knows it. All right, let's see. What we got? Gil, whenever somebody, yeah, that's it. That's what you're going to do. Whenever somebody says something that you can put a song, help me out. I have a mentor that's what he does. Every time we go to the events, that's what he does. He has somebody just to put those little songs as he speaks. So somebody searches real quick, boom. There you go. Throw it. Funny as hell. Crystal asks, what don't you do? All right, is anybody watching on YouTube? Let me know you're there so I know that you are present, because we do have a cheat sheet and I want to make sure I'm able to kind of like figure out a way to send it to you. Okay, so if you are on YouTube, let me know. All right, so let me go here to the chat. So guys, right here on top, the first thing I sent to you was a math cheat sheet. Did everybody get it? I sent it also on the WhatsApp group. Right on top, scroll all the way to the top. I'm actually going to shoot it to you again, just in case. I just send it again. It is on the student portal and it is on the Facebook group as well. Just search math cheat sheets. All right, so let's see what we got. We've got a bunch of questions from Daphne. Andrea, just refresh and try again. I did update it. All right, so I guess we don't have anybody watching from YouTube, so we're going to go straight to the class. All right, so how does a broker's commission get paid? What do you mean by full commission? For example, if a broker represents both seller and buyer, does the seller pay 6% for seller fees and 6% for buyer fees? No. 6% is the total commission, and that's why you cannot get paid from both sides. They pay the total commission. 6% is what you negotiated, right? What you're telling me here, Daphne, is 12%, right? That's more along Chad's negotiation lines and like 10%, 11, 12, right? But this represents 12%. Broker commission is what we negotiate on behalf of the broker, right? We negotiate with the seller. Out of the transaction, they pay the broker, and the broker then splits with whoever brings a buyer, right? So let's say 3% to the buyer's broker, 3% stays in-house. And then you split according to your own commission split with your broker, whatever you agree. So if you're at 70%, you get 70% of that 3% that stayed in your brokerage. Okay? If you're at 60%, you get 60% of whatever stays in that brokerage. Right? Minus fees. If you're in a franchise fees. Then you have the toast fees. You have the coffee fees. You got everything fees. Not just french fries, but everything fees is there. Right? Next. Earnest money is good faith deposit, and that means that if you fail, if you default, then the seller earns that money because you default. It's like the security deposit. Okay? It was about time? I'm just kidding. All right.
Coffee time.
Coffee time. All right, don't go away. Come here. Guys, you see Mario? You guys know Mario, right?
Hello, everybody.
What did you do today?
Closing.
Say louder.
One closing.
Another closing. Not one closing, another closing. How many closings this year so far?
6.
Sixth closing. All right? Everybody's clapping for you. I know you cannot hear, but they're clapping.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. So he brings coffee for me, and he brings closings, which is amazing.
You guys take care.
Wait. Come on. Say something. How did you get there? 6 closings is almost like 1 a month. With quarantine.
Just talk to people, believe in yourself, that's all.
Talk to people and believe in yourself.
Yes. Anybody can do this. Anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody.
Even Uruguayans can do this. That's what it is. That's what it
Even
says.
Uruguayans, yeah.
You're the man. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
So 6 closings, 1 year. I mean, half a year pretty much. Not bad, right? So if you think about an average, I'm not going to say that's what he's making, but if you think about an average of, let's say, $8,000 or $9,000 per closing times 6, you know more or less how much he made. Some of these closings are way higher than that. Some of them are just a little bit lower than that. But is it possible to reach $100,000 in 1 year if he keeps on going this way? This is not counting the ones that are pending, right? So this is what it takes to be a superstar. It's not about, like he said, very simple, talk to people, right? It's not about you being smarter than another person. I was having a lunch meeting earlier today with another superstar that unfortunately is at a different agency, but it is what it is. But we were talking about it, and the fact that some people do and some people don't, right? This person has a few transactions pending, right, and about to close, and keeps on putting more and more offers, right? So she might not be closing now, but eventually all these offers are going to pop, and she's going to make a lot of money. So as she's talking to me about what's happening in their first year, because she just got licensed this year and already has a bunch of offers pending, right? Even with quarantine, the difference, what I tell everybody, the difference between being successful and not has nothing to do with your English, has nothing to do with being smart, has nothing to do with a degree. It has to do with being hungry. Does that make sense? Because if you're hungry, what are you guys going to do? You're going to just look at the food, leave it there? You're going to go get it. You're going to go make that food. You're going to eat. That's what it is. If you're hungry, you get it. If you're not hungry, see, he's hungry. Here every day, he's consistent, always asking questions, always putting in the work, and things are happening for him. It's great, right? I'm very proud of him, very proud of a few others that we have here at the office, and my students that are not at my office, but they are being successful. That makes me very proud as an instructor. Does that make sense? So, be hungry. That's it. Okay? I know there's one that says be thirsty or something like that. I'm telling you, be hungry for deals. All right. Let's go back to this real quick. It says, the question here was, what was earnest? I addressed that. The next question is, can you explain public records? Public records and recording. For example, if buyer or party is interested in purchasing real estate, they have to record it. They don't have to record it, but they should record. Now, what are they recording? The title, the deeds. They're recording that they became the owners, and if there's a mortgage, it's recorded into public records. Because you need to know that you are the owner, right? It's not a requirement, but in order to prove later on, to be a more effective proof that you are the owner, we go to public records. So anytime you want to prove something, what do? File it into public records, notarized, because to get into public records, it must be notarized. You guys got it? So it's proof that it exists. A suit to acquire a title is a lawsuit to change whatever the conditions of the title are. Suit to acquire title is to change conditions of the title. So for instance, if I'm suing you because you are not the owner, I am, it would be considered a suit to acquire title. If I'm suing you in adverse possession, it's because I took a piece of your property and I'm trying to convert it to be mine. So changing from your name to my name, that is a suit to acquire title. So this one right here, marketable title, it's something that has no issue. So when I sell something to you, let's think about it, Daphne. When I sell something to you, do you want something that has problems, or do you want something that's free of any problems? You want something that has no problems, so it's free and clear, ready to transfer. There's no issues. For instance, when we go to closing, we need to pay off the previous mortgage from the seller, right? So that the buyer can carry on and get his own mortgage as a buyer. So we need to clear whatever is behind. Any liens, anything that's pending against the property must be cleared before it transfers. That's what a marketable title will be, one that it's easily transferred. Okay? Defects is what I just told you, is when you buy saying, hey, Bruno, don't worry, you have a mortgage, I'll take it even with the mortgage. I'll make payments on the mortgage. I don't care, I'll just take the property. So those are the defects that you're accepting. You got it? Survey is just something that, it's like a map that shows the boundary lines of your property. A survey is determining what is yours and what is theirs, your neighbors. What are the property lines? Okay? Prorate and prorations are exactly the same thing. To prorate is to adjust. Prorations are adjustments. Exactly the same thing. One is the action, right? Poop explosions. I mean, I can't explain that one, not right now, because thank God my kids are not going through that right now. So Perla cannot really tell you what it is. Max, we addressed this. Luz, I know you're driving, but try not to drive. We clear this. This right here, the answer is nope, 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 and nope, 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 nope. But the cheat sheet, what we're going to go over today, the cheat sheet is to help you recognize things immediately. That's one. Second is the last thing you do before you get into the exam and the first thing you do when you sit down. So they're going to give you, in the state exam, they'll give you a piece of paper. In that piece of paper, as soon as you sit down, do not touch the computer. Grab the pencil and the paper, and write down as much as you can remember from the cheat sheet. That's the first thing you do. And then math is the last thing you do in the exam. So you skip all the math questions. Even if you think you know it, it's time consuming. As soon as you see math, skip. Okay? It'll be your final questions, and that's why you're going to write down as much as you can remember from here right at the beginning. Okay. I will check this again and I'll let you know. Andrea. She's hired for the... You're talking about the poop? You said, Mario, swing your arms. So earnest money is a credit to the buyer. Great question. So at closing, because you already gave a good faith deposit, at closing, it's a credit towards your down payment. For instance, your down payment is $20,000, but you put $5,000 as a good faith deposit. At closing, how much you need to bring for down payment? $15,000. Because those $5,000 you already put in is going to show up as a credit at closing. You got it? If I make everyone wear name tags, we don't make anybody anything, but name tags are great. I walk around all the time with my name, right? I know my name. The people that are close to me know my name, but I want everybody to know my name. I want everybody to know the school. Does that make sense? So the name tag is just free advertisement. When people go shake your hand, well, not now, they go shake your elbow, right? When people see you, they're talking to you, they're going to look. So it's a form of advertisement. Boom. Persistence, confidence. Daphne already answered this, so yes. Gil, can you explain this? You're asking about the 6%, if that's the... Hold on, where do I have you? Hold on. Gil, oh yeah. Okay, so 6% is whatever goes to the broker, right? And then they keep 3%, let's say, for the buyer and 3% for the seller. And then let's say you work for an agency that's at 70%, but they charge you franchise fees, they charge you copy fees, they charge you MLS fees, they charge you whatever fees. Why are you breeding? Why are you here? Like, there's agencies that charge you a bunch of fees, right? So they are deducted from the 70% that you're supposed to get. So not only do they deduct 30 to the agency, then they take all these things from you, right? And by the way, that's a normal process, guys. For everyone, that's a normal process. It's just that some agencies, they either charge you in a monthly form or some agencies charge you from your paycheck. Some agencies take 50% and still charge you fees. So it depends on where you go. All right, let's see. Wow, a lot of questions today. Question, if you're working independent with a broker, is it flexible when working part-time versus full-time? All right, so Andrea, let me clarify this for everybody, okay? So that's a great question, but I'll address everybody with that. As an independent, if you want to work 5 minutes, you work 5 minutes. As an independent, you want to work 24 hours, you work 24 hours. You are independent. You are sponsored by a broker. You don't work for the broker. You work on behalf of the broker. You see the difference? If you work for me, then I have to charge you certain hours, meaning I'm going to demand certain hours. Okay? I'm going to take out of your paycheck, I'm going to take Social Security. I'm going to demand a certain attire. I'm going to demand you to show up to every single meeting. But no, you're independent. So you are your own boss within the office regulations, within the broker's guidance and regulations. Does that make sense? So you can work whatever hours you want. You want to work part-time? Work part-time. You want to work full-time? Full-time. But we don't determine your hours. You do. All right? And that's the thing I was telling you before. You have to be hungry. Right? If you only work part-time, Andrea, be hungry. Okay? Those 2-3 hours you do a day, be the hungriest you've ever been. Be fully focused, laser focused to get things done. And that's the same thing I've been asking you guys for the class. When you sit down, if you really want to do this, it's only 4 weeks. You should have been fully focused, no distractions. Right? Find a way. Right? Where there's a will, there's a way. People make it happen. You got it? Always. Next. How does a homeowner get a survey of their property? Also, great question. You can go to City Hall and get a survey. Most recent records will be there. If it's an old ownership, old property, never surveyed, haven't been surveyed in the past 20 years, let's say, then it might not be there. So you need to call a surveyor, a local surveyor, to check the property and determine what's yours and what's not. A new survey, which could be $500, could be $1,000, depending on the size of the property, right? We're talking about property lines. A new survey will then be recorded with City Hall. Okay? Geraldine? No? Geraldine, did you hear me? You asked the question? Okay. Cool. YouTube talking about hungry. Oh, Les Brown. Yep. Les Brown, great motivational speaker. Thank you for sharing, Vanessa. Chad, you wouldn't do 12% all day long, if I could. Crystal, cheers. All right. I'm hoping I'll get to the end of the questions. We're almost there. Only 30 messages to go. We're almost there. Andrea, so I could work... Oh, hey, Carrie. How are you? Sorry. So I could work full-time under a broker while being independent for 3 years. I guess you're getting it confused. You can work whatever time. the broker will determine if you're full-time or not for the real estate commission. Right? You are independent. That means when you go work, you get a 1099 instead of a W-2. So instead of getting deductions of your paycheck, you make your own hours. That's the other difference. Right? So you got to be, when we're talking about being full-time versus part-time, is that you have to have experience in real estate. And if you worked somewhere else more than 25 hours a week, then you wouldn't be considered full-time. That's what we're trying to say. So working somewhere else more than 25 hours a week, you're definitely not a full-time. At least not in the eyes of the real estate commission. You got it? So these 3 years, the experience is going to be determined by the broker. The broker is going to say, yes, Andrea has been full-time, and to the best of my knowledge, she hasn't worked anywhere else for more than 25 hours a week. Got it? So there's no way to track your hours. No, it's based on experience. It's based on your broker vouching for you. Okay? Vanessa, you'll be independent no matter what. You might have a salary if your broker needs you to do something else, like answer phones. You'll have a salary if your broker needs you to do marketing, and they can pay you as a marketing agent. They can pay you a salary. But most of the times, 99.9% of the times, sales will be commission only. Okay? So independent. Oh, we're at the end. All right. If less than 20 years, it is free. I didn't say that. I said if the property has been surveyed less than 20 years ago, most likely it's going to be a city hall. That's what I said. If it's more than 20 years in certain areas, city hall has no records, so you have to pay for it and create a survey of your property. All right, Geraldine? Okay, so when I said that it's available at city hall, is because most likely properties surveyed in the past 20 years in most areas are already recorded at city hall. Okay, you're welcome. Vanessa, definitely. I'm sure everybody's gonna love that the video, and if you have a chance, make sure you watch also yesterday's. If you don't have it, I think it's in the WhatsApp group. Heather shared something regarding New York, Long Island, I think it was. Sorry, I don't remember for Long Island, Staten Island, but about realtors, right? You guys should definitely go there and see what the experience was. But this one, Les Brown, is about motivation. Definitely. Definitely be hungry. And that is why my first book in the library says start with why. Because if you don't know why you're doing it, you'll never be hungry. If you have no motivation, you'll never be hungry. If nothing's pushing you, you'll never be hungry. You got it? Very, very important. All right, somebody got kicked out of the Zoom. David got kicked out of the Zoom. Okay. Joe, you got kicked out too? Oh, okay. I just see you wrote got kicked out. So. Oh, you wrote David. Okay, I just see up there. You wrote David. Okay. I can't sleep at night because I'm so hungry. Well, do you have a fridge? Because I can't go to bed without having a little snack always, unfortunately. But good. You're studying. You're going crazy. Got it. Get it done. There you go. Chad, old surveys can always be wrong. It's always a good idea to get a new one. And that's what I was trying to say also. If it's less than 20 years, most likely nothing changed. They're only valid for 10 years for mortgage purposes. They won't recognize if it's over 10 years anyway. But the more recent it is, the better it is. The older it is, definitely try to get a new survey. Absolutely. And this is key, reputable surveyor, not just anybody. Check references. Okay? David, your issue might be internet. Also, it could be, guys, it could be updates, because I had issues with Zoom earlier because of, I think, an update. So I had new hosts earlier. All right. Is everybody home, ready to go? We're going to go into math right now. Let me see who we got. Luz, you're home already? Not there. Okay. David, you're good. Yamila, you're good. Mina, Yusuf, I see you. Steph, you're there. Vanessa, Mina. All right. Mina, Daphne, Chad, Joseph, Meredith, Perla, Sandra, Sarah, Linda, Yanessa, Sabrina, Gil, Crystal, Talia, Brian, Nicole, Natalie, Lena, Abanoob, Stephen, Geraldine, gone, asks a question and leaves. Carlos is there, Anthony's there, Catherine is there, nobody else, because she's mad at me, is there. Jane and Andrea. Cool. All right. Mina Fozzie, it's going to be you staying there? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, hold on, guys. One more. All right. Is there anybody else there on YouTube? I see Carrie. If anybody else is watching, let me know that you're there. I'm going to send you guys on YouTube a cheat sheet for math, okay? And I promise everybody we're going to start right now, okay? Just sending this to them. Okay, hopefully this works. Carrie, let me know if that works, if you got the cheat sheet. I just want to make sure you guys follow what I'm going to say, otherwise you're going to be lost. Got it? Perfect. All right. Talia, how do you do with health insurance? You have to buy your own. If you're independent, we don't provide health insurance, but the National Association of Realtors does have a few plans that you might be able to purchase on your own. I would still go to the marketplace first and try to do it there rather than the National Association of Realtors. The plans are not always good for certain states. So try to go to marketplaces more catered to you. And we only have, like, my company for the insurance part, we only work with group insurance. So it'll be for your job or Medicare. We don't do individual. I can recommend you to a few people that do individual, but we do group insurance for businesses. That's all. Or Medicare. Like if you're 65 or older, or if you have more than 2 years disability, you might qualify for Medicare as well. All right, cool. Let's go. That's right, Chad. Business expenses, CPA, all day. See, even rhymes. Real estate math. You guys ready? 1 + 1 is 2, and we're good. Good night. All right, I'm not going to teach you math, guys. It's very hard to teach math. What I'm going to teach you is how to break things down in a question, right? Especially for the engineers like Peter, Abanu, and all that. You know, they're very good at math. I just need to explain how to break it down, and they will be able to do the rest of the math. Right, Abanu? Cool. All right. Mina Fozzie, I'm glad you're better. All right. So we're going to start talking about percentages. I want to make sure you guys find a way to get this cheat sheet open on your screen, or if you can print it, whatever. Take advantage, because this cheat sheet talks about percentages, right? It has the measurements that you need to remember right there. This one, not so much, but I put it there just in case. Okay, but we have miles, we have acres, we have a section which we talk about. This is the form, the tool that we're going to use. I'm going to explain that in a little bit. It's pretty much, you can see PBR is just fill in the blanks, pretty much. So part, portion, or income, base, value, or whole, rate, percentage, or interest. And I'm going to show you this as I go. This is the only tool you need to figure out formulas. So in the previous chapters, I told you guys, don't stress about formulas. I'm going to give you a tool that eliminates all the formulas, okay? We also have peanuts over butter rum. Okay, Chad. I'll try. I think it's like tea and cocoa. But anyway. Right here, we have area to figure out rectangles or squares, area to figure out triangles. So this cheat sheet is pretty much everything you need for math. Nothing else aside from what's here is what you're going to need. So if you master what you see here, that's it. For the rest of your life, these simple calculations are easy to figure out. All right? This tool, Chad, I figured it was a formula, right? It's peanuts over butter rum. Got it. But anyway, so this right here, you're going to figure out when to divide or when to multiply just by filling in the blanks. You guys are terrible. Jane, you're asking how to get the cheat sheet on YouTube? Well, I shared the link there in the chat. But you should go to the student portal. It's under the math chapter. Let me show you real quick. In the student portal, if you go here to math, if you scroll down, see? Scroll down all the way to math. Click on it. And it's going to open real estate math, right? Scroll down and it says right there. Okay, so get to the student portal. Everything is there for you guys. Whatever I'm sharing with you guys here should be on the student portal. Okay. Also, make sure you're on Quizlet. There's a lot of good stuff on Quizlet for math. So make sure you're there. Take advantage of all the resources you can get. All right, guys, whatever works for you. Persistence brings riches. Pab's Blue Ribbon. Jeez. Gil, 8 questions. Yeah, up to 8 questions. All right, guys. So let's go over this. Let's move forward. I told you that I was not going to teach math, but I was going to show you a few things, right? So a few tricks. Like, for instance, percent means per 100 or per 100 parts, right? So every time you see per 100 or per $100, we're talking about percent. For example, 50% means 50 parts of the possible 100 parts that make up the whole. Percentages greater than 100% contain more than one whole unit. So 163% is one whole unit plus 63 parts of another. So if I go here, right, and I draw a circle, I'm going to say that this circle is 100%. So if there's one owner, 100% ownership. If there's two owners, 50-50, unless it's broken down in a different way, right? But think about this as a pizza pie. So 100% means you have one whole pizza, right? What about if I take a slice? And this slice is 6%, for instance, commission. If I took 6%, right, Pac-Man over here, if I took 6%, how much is left in that pizza pie? Simple. Right? Very simple. Okay, remember this because it will be the answer for, or help you with the answer for one of the questions later on. All right? Okay, so we have one pizza pie. What if we had one pizza pie, right, plus another one, part of another one? Then what we have is 100%, which is 1, right, plus, in this case, let's say this is like 60%. So this equals 0.6, or 60 parts of one whole. You got it? So what we have here is 160% or 1.6. Got it? Yep. Abanoob says, "You're explaining in the simplest way ever, and it's getting me confused." Oh boy. Vanessa, what didn't you get? Where is Vanessa? The 60%? Hold on. Let me find you. Let me find you. I don't see you on my screen. Oh, there you are. Okay. Where did the 60% come from? Well, I gave a number. I just gave a number. I said that this was 60%. So we took, let's say we had 2 pizza pies and, right? And the whole family already started eating and they took 40% out. How much is left? 60%. So it's just numbers I threw out there. It's just for you to understand that if you have more than one pie, right, it's more than 100%. I gave the number of 100% here, and I gave a number of 60% here. So that was me. Okay? Sorry, I didn't explain that. Okay? So I just said that this is 100%, so one pie, and this is 60%, which is what's left of the second pie. Okay? All right, so unless a calculator is with a percentage key is being used, the percentage must be converted to either a decimal or a fraction. I'm not a big fan of fractions to explain and to do the math, but decimals are a lot easier. You know why? Because your calculator doesn't show you fractions either. It shows decimals. So the simplest form will always be to convert the percentage to a decimal. How do we do this? It's what I showed you earlier. If it's 100%, it equals 1. If it's 60%, it equals 0.6. So in this case, if it's 60%, what are we going to do? Simple. Very, very simple. We're going to take the percent sign out, and we're going to move 2 spaces to the left and 0.6. That's the answer. If it's 175%, again, cut this out, move 2 spaces to the left, and put that dot right there. It's 1.75. It's as simple as this. To convert to decimals, take the percent sign out, move 2 spaces to the left, and you're done. Now, why is this so important? Why do I simplify it so much? Because your calculator is going to give you this answer. Blank. Hold on, what happened here? Okay. Your calculator gives you this answer, 1.75. Right? It doesn't give you a percentage when you get results. So if to get to a decimal, this is what you do, right? Then to get to a percentage, what do? Reverse it. So we got 1.75. What are we going to do, guys? We're going to move 2 to the right and add the percent sign. So how much is this? 175%. Okay? Same thing here. 2 to the right, because that would be the answer, right? And we add percent, so it's 60%. Okay, so to convert to decimals, you go 2 to the left. To convert to percentage, you go 2 to the right. And then you're dancing bachata. Got it? 2 to the left, 2 to the right, you're good. There you go. Where's the song, Gil? Come on, throw the song. Don't just claim stuff. DR in the house. There you go. Any questions here before I move forward? Or you could be the Texas two-step. You're right. You're right. Mm-hmm. Questions? Gil, your Spanish portion. Oh, it's the thumbs. Okay. Your thumbs don't work either in English or Spanish. I see that. I was trying to figure out here your Venezuelan side. Where did it go? No questions? We're good? Great. Because now we're going to start learning how to apply this in a question. Ready? Make sure you're paying attention, guys. Everybody. Great. Give Emilio a little sideways, and Tidy, get to your camera. I know she has a bigger screen, but get to your camera. On the phone? She does have a bigger screen. All right. Percentage problems contain 3 elements. You got to remember this. Percentage problems contain 3 elements. There's the percentage, there's the total, and there's the part. Okay? To determine the percentage of a specific, the specific percentage of a whole, you multiply the percentage by the whole. So if we have 5%, we multiply by the whole value to figure out the part or portion of the value. So here is a question. And I'm going to show you 3 ways or 3 versions of the question. Ready? All right. So the first one is, a broker is to receive a 7% commission on the sale of a $100,000 house. What is the broker's commission? This one's easy. The answer is right here. We got it. Let me go to the tool that you're going to need. Okay, why is this not working? Right there. Okay. So this is the tool you're going to need, guys. I'm going to erase this here. I'm going to erase this here. I'm going to erase this here. We're going to put this right here. All right. And this is what I call the ninja face, ninja emoji. All right. So, Chucky. I guess. I'll go with ninja. So here's the thing. You need to remember that there's 3 spots to fill, right? 1, 2, 3. Correct? And I told you that percentage problems contain 3 elements. See, I even brought my glasses so I look cool teaching math, right? So it contains 3 elements. Sarah, why are you shaking your head? You don't like it? I'll take the glasses off. 3 elements, right? Let's go back here. We have percentage, part, and whole. 3 elements. If you guys go, if you guys go to the if you guys go to the cheat sheet that I sent you, it says PBR. So there's 3 elements, right? The top element is part, portion, or income. The bottom says base, value, or whole. Or the right side says, the bottom right says rate, percentage, or interest. So this is what you have to put into the tool. I don't know how much I can stress this. This is not the day to be walking around. This is not the day to be distracted. Just letting you guys know. One more time. All right, so if we go back here, the question was, a broker is to receive 7% commission on the sale of a $100,000 house. What was the commission on the sale of this house, right? So do you think a commission is a part or is the whole thing? Is the commission a part or the whole thing? Let me know in the chat. Commission, part or whole? Part. So if it's part, where do we put it? On top. So guys, what we're trying to figure out right now is what was the commission, right? So once you figure out what the question was, it's easy. We only have 2 spots to fill, right? Now, the sale of the house was $100,000. Where does the $100,000, so the whole, the value, the base of the question, where does that go? Okay, $100,000 right there, bottom left, perfect. What about the percentage? Where does that go? Bottom right, simple, fill in the blanks, right? But percentage, do you guys notice what I put here? I put 0.07. Why? Because we need to move 2 decimals to the right, okay? Get used to, I know your calculators have a percentage key, but get used to converting it. Because once they give you the answer, it's not in percentages, as I said before. So you should be able to bring this back to percentage, so 7%. Now guys, give it a try. I know everybody knows this answer, but I want to make sure your calculator works. 100,000 times 0.07. 100,000 times 0.07. And what is the answer? How much was your commission on the sale of a $100,000 house? $7,000, right? Did everybody get 7,000? Chad got 10. That's right, because he gets 10%. All right. Is there anybody that didn't get it? Abanub, I know you didn't get it. I know. Perla, why did we say what? Oh, the wife took the biggest chunk, Chad. Perla, you have a question here. I'm waiting for your question. Linda, don't fall asleep. It's the vodka, I tell you. Why did we say 7% was part and went on top? No, what I asked you, okay. So, Perla, what I asked was a commission. I didn't ask the percentage. I said the commission value, right? The commission value, is it the whole thing or it's a part of it? See, your commission is a portion of the sales price. Percentage-wise, it's 7%. But the result, how much you took home, is a portion or part of the whole value. Got it? Okay. So let's change the question a little bit. It's the same question, same exact question. What we're going to say now is a broker is to receive $7,000 on the sale of a $100,000 house. What was the commission rate? So it's the same question, but we don't know the percentage. We know how much they got paid, $7,000, right? So let's go here, and we don't know what the percentage is. That's what we're trying to figure out. They got paid $7,000. We're trying to figure out the percentage. So if this was empty, we would have put the $7,000 commission on top, right? We would have put the value of the house at the bottom. And here's what I want to show. If it's something on top and then something on the bottom, what do we have to do? Divide. So whatever's at the bottom, once you fill in the blanks, whatever's at the bottom, you multiply. But if filling in the blanks, one number is on top because it's portion, right? And the other number is at the bottom because it's the base, the value, or the total, right? Then we divide. Guys, calculators, give it a try. I want to make sure we have the same calculator giving the same result. I see, Andrea. Your calculator should give you 0.07. 0.07. Now we need to translate this into percentage. How much is the percentage? 2 to the right, add the percent sign. This is 7%. You guys got it? Yep. Great. So I'm going to give you the third variable of this question. Let me just clean this up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to show you how this right here, which I call the steering wheel, how this is perfect, a perfect tool. All right, better than anything you've ever used, calculators or anything, because calculator doesn't tell you when to divide or when to multiply, but this does. Ready? So we had this as 0.07, right, or 7%. Now, what if the question was, a broker received $7,000, on the sale of a house. The commission was 7%. What was the sales price? You see, it's the same question, but 3 variables to the question. Now we're trying to figure out the value of the house. How much is sold for? We know 7,000, that goes on top. We know the percentage goes in the bottom. If there's a number on top and a number at the bottom, what do? We divide. So $7,000 divided by 0.07. $7,000 divided by 0.07. The answer is $100,000. $2,000. Carrie just said, oh my God, I love this and I do not like math. Yep. Okay. Questions? I concur. All right, Daphne's coming up with a question. Three variables. Guys, one more time. Today's the day I'm going to be so annoying. Eliminate distractions. Get everybody out of your room. Make sure you're focused. I'm telling you, you need this. I don't care how good you are at math. If you don't understand the things I'm going to go through next, you will fail the math questions. Take everybody out of your room. Focus, please. Again, the only day that I'm going to be really, really annoying and always calling you out. Okay? Question. So exam question would either give you the part, base, or rate, or would it specifically state it like that? So yeah, they will state exam questions. We're going to go over a few questions in a little bit. But state exam questions will be similar to this. Yeah, very similar. They give you two things and you have to figure out the third. Or sometimes you have to use the steering wheel twice. So sometimes they'll give you 3 or 4 numbers and you need to find the chain to get to the number you need. What I'm showing you guys is a tool that will simplify your life. Because where most people make mistakes is knowing when to divide or when to multiply. That's all. Okay? Good? All right. So I'm going to show you again how perfect the steering wheel is. I'm going to clear everything here. Okay? And now I'm going to go to the book. Vanessa says, hold on, taking notes. All right. Meanwhile, I'm seeing what you guys are doing. David is gone. Crystal's somewhere there. Mina, I can barely see you. Luz, I can barely see you. Abanub, I can barely see you. Okay. Vanessa, you're good? 1 minute? Okay. Carrie, it's not 8 points, but it's close. Really, Luz? If you need to, you should have done it before or during the break, but go. No problem, Heather. I know, I saw it. Okay. Okay. I see, Vanessa. I'm just trying to read what you guys come up with. Sorry, I can't with you guys. Between the peanut butter and now it's P in BR, okay? Yeah. If that works, sure. Steven says, a month is not enough with you. I just getting in the groove of learning and attending class. Your class is fun. Thank you. Appreciate it. I try. Try to make it as fun as possible, even though sometimes it's not easy. You're always welcome to stay. I mean, you still have to take the state exam. Keep on attending. I have some people that attended until the day they passed, and they still showed up in the classes. Okay. Heather says definitely Daphne, definitely Daphne. P in the BR. Don't do it anywhere else. This is going great. So, Carrie, it's not 10% either. It's not 10 points. Okay, you're looking at points instead of percentage. Okay, got it. So in points, yes, it is. Out of 110 points, it's 8 points. Yes. Heather says, I listen during the day while working to try to imprint in my brain. Yep, a few of you are doing mornings, you're doing evenings, you're doing in between, you're doing after. Daphne doesn't sleep, right? Hey. Gil, yeah, she said 8 points because there's up to 8 questions. So each question is 1 point. Yep. Yep, Heather calls me out, and this morning, apparently I was trying to drive the house instead of the car. It happens. In my defense, I was on drugs. It's an art. You know what, Chad? Why weren't you here in the morning? Why weren't you here in the morning? Thank you. All right? Watch, the cat's going to be the dog's going to be throwing at Chad right now. One of them. All right, let's go. So, I told you I was going to show you how perfect this is, right? Let's go to page 301, and we got rates. We can skip everything else because the tool applies to all those percentages for commission. We're going to go into rates, which is a different type of calculation. But I'm going to show you how to use the steering wheel for rates as well. Same here, Vanessa. So property taxes, transfer taxes, and insurance premiums are expressed as rates. And the rate is the cost expressed as the amount of cost per unit. For example, taxes might be computed at a rate of $5 per $100 of assessed value. Okay? And the formula for computing rates is value divided by unit times rate per unit. Value divided by unit times rate per unit, and that equals total. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Forget this. Simpler way. Ready? Okay. It says the house has been assessed at $90,000 and taxed at an annual rate for $2.50 per $100 of assessed value. What is the yearly tax? Before anything else, I told you that percentages, that's how we started this chapter, percentages were per 100 parts, right? So if the question says $2.50 per $100, drop the dollar, add percent. Simple. If you see per 100 something means per cent, automatically it's 2.5%. If it's $2.50 per every $100, it's automatically 2.5%. You just have to drop the dollar, add percent. Drop the dollar, add percent. That's the trick right there. If you were to put it in the calculator, 2.5%, if you were to put it in the calculator, you know you have to go 2 to the left. So it's 0.025. That's it. That's the first hint right there of what you need to do. And forget all this. I mean, you can use this, whatever it says here, divide by 100 and so on, if you want. I don't use it, but you can. Simplifying it, here's what we're going to do. The house is assessed at $90,000. Where does $90,000 go? 90,000. Where does it go? You're pointing, Abanub, like I know where you're pointing? That's good. Bottom left. 90,000, because this is value base total, right, or whole. Goes in the bottom left. That's right, Gil. Right? Bring some B into this. There you go. Think of Beyonce. B, Beyonce. To the left, to the left. There you go. Good. Thank you, Gil. That was a good one. I'm telling you, I got to have these little sounds. All right. What else do we have? We have percentage, don't we? We have 2.5%, right? Where does percentage go? Percentage, where does it go? To the right. Correct. Gil, give me one for the right. No? 2.5% or 0.025. All right. We're trying to figure out the part or portion, which is the taxes you have to pay. If two numbers are at the bottom, what do we do, guys? Multiply, right? Multiply. So the answer. Oh. I got distracted with Steven. What happened there? Hey Kelly, you watching? Ninja. All right, so Gil, yep. You want the right rate. There you go. Crystal, thank you. You want the right rate. So RR, there you go. Steven, what happened? How did you get 5,625? What happened there? You reversed it? Okay, could happen. Carrie just put big bold letters, amazing. All right, let's say, guys, I'm going to show you. Let's say you forgot completely. You forgot about this. Drop the dollar, add the percent. Okay, I'm going to show you also all the mistakes, guys. Hold on, let me address Daphne real quick. So here's the thing. You can use the decimals or you can use the percentage. The problem is if you reverse these two, you're going to get, if you use percentage, you're going to get an error. That's one of the reasons. So in the book, it shows rate on the left. I'm telling you to put the rate on the right. Because if you put on your calculator, 2.5% automatically gives you 0. Most calculators automatically give you 0. And when you type 0 times 90,000, the answer would have been 0. So I reversed it, so it's easier. So even if you make a mistake using one or the other, it still gives you the right answer. Okay? Now, Daphne's asking which one is better. Neither one of them is better. It's just really because of that mistake. Right? But also, right, Heather? But also, the other reason why I want you to convert to decimals is what I was telling you. The calculator will always give you this answer. What if they asking you, what if they gave you the tax value, they gave you the assessed value, and they're asking you a percentage? You got to get used to converting percentages. That's why I keep on giving you both values. Okay? That's the only reason I give you both values. Use whichever is more comfortable for you. All right? But like I said, I'm going to show you guys. Let's say you make a mistake and you did not do the percent thing. Let's say you put here $2.50 and you forgot that it was percentage. Calculators, give it a try. 90,000 times $2.50. Guys, pay attention. Focus. Kick everybody out. This is like the last days. You want to pass? Stick with me right now. All right. So you guys got in your calculator, you got $225,000, right? If I'm asking you, right, because the question was, what is the yearly tax? This was the question. Do you think $225,000 is the yearly taxes on a property assessed for $90,000? Doesn't make sense, right? So something is wrong. You forgot that it's per every $100. So all you have to do right now, all you have to do is slash some zeros here. That's 100 right there, per $100. Slash 2 zeros. What's the answer? 2,250. Simple. You guys got it? All you have to do is take the 100, so 2 to the left. That's what it is. I'm going to keep on showing you guys as we go. I'm going to show you what are the most common mistakes. I'll show you the hints, how to make it faster, right? And how to figure out certain things in different ways. Make it easier maybe. But I'm also going to show you where you make mistakes. A lot of you forget that it's per 100. So if it's per 100, you have to divide by 100. Or, in the more simplest way, instead of dividing by 100, you're going to just drop the dollar sign and add the percent. That's the simplest way. Okay? That's right, Daphne. Every time you see dollar per 100, the key was this, by the way. Per 100. If it says per 100 means percent. If it says per 100 means percent. $2.50 per $100 means 2.5%. Thumbs up? Good. Love it. I'm going to keep on showing you guys how the steering wheel is perfect. Here's another example. Another question. Yes, Sarah, because it says per $100. Yep. Another example, ready? It says right here, a home was purchased a year ago for $172,000 and $700 blah 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 blah. You got it, right? So $172,300. That's how much I paid for this house. Property in the neighborhood, so I purchased for this. Property in the neighborhood is said to be increasing at a rate of 3% annually. What is the current market value? What is the current market value of the real estate? Ready? Crystal, easy, easy. Let me show step by step. Who got the song? Nobody? Step by step? Nobody? Come on, DJ. You're going really slow. Where's Gil? Did I lose him? Oh, right there. I can't be faster than the DJ, man. Anthony goes like, from the show. Okay. The Full House. They put it there, right? Yeah, but it's Kids on the Block, yeah. From the show, yep. Oh, the show there's an actual show called Step by Step? Okay. No, but it's from, you guys are terrible. It's, you have the one with Chrissy from Three's Company, okay. It's Kids on the Block. All right, Steven, wait. It's wrong. Don't put any answers yet. It's wrong. Let me go step by step. That's what I said to Crystal. Let's go. Ready? It says you purchased it for $172,000, correct? Where does value go? Where does value go? Bottom left, 172,300. What is the rate? We're trying to figure out what the current value is, but what is the rate? Wrong. 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 Let me keep on repeating this. Hold on. We don't know. Maybe. No. Wrong. Guys, it's increasing in value. Let me show you something. I told you earlier, right? I told you earlier that if you have a pizza pie, it's 100%, right? If you add more pizza, you have more than 100%. Isn't the question saying that it increased in value 3%? So we already have 100%, which is the value when we purchased. If it increased in value 3%, how much is it worth now? It's worth 103% of the purchase price. Okay, so 1.03. Now, Stephen, hold on to that answer you got. Let me show you something in a little bit, okay? But it's 103% because they're saying you purchased for 172,300. That's the purchase price that equals 100%. But it increased 3% over the years. Right? So we have 103% current value. Okay? So calculators. Not percolators, okay? Calculators, right at the bottom. If the numbers are at the bottom, what do? Multiply. If we multiply, we get 177,469. And this is the current this is the current value of the property. We purchased for 172, it is now worth 177. Okay? 177 is 103% of the previous price. Also 3% more than what you paid for. So guys, if you used 3%, it's not totally wrong, it just takes a little bit longer. If you used 3%, let's say 0.03 or 3%, then the answer would have been 5,169. So what do you have to do next? You purchased for 172,300 plus 5,169. It'll be 177,469. Stephen, it is what you said. The difference is, one, you can do out of the top of your head, which is 100% plus 3%. And then you drop into the steering wheel. The other one, you need a calculator to figure out. So I'm just giving you shortcuts because they're asking you what is the current value. It's 103% more. It's 103% of what you purchased. That's all. Again, one you can do out of the top of your head. The other one you can't. You need a calculator. Okay? So I'm showing you options. You ready for another one? Let me simplify it even more. On your calculator, guys, you're going to put 172,300 plus 3% on your calculator. I will, Daphne. I just want everybody to try this. This is another shortcut, even faster. No need for steering wheel or any other calculations. Every time they say it declined a percentage or increased a percentage, go to the calculator, put plus or put minus that percentage. Most calculators come with a percent key, so it should be easy. Did you try? Did you guys try this one? Purchase price plus the increase. What is the current value? Good? I just showed you 3 ways to calculate the same thing. All right? Whatever is easiest for you. Pick one. Daphne, you want to see this? Or the other one? This? Okay. CV, current value. It's what they're asking. What's the current value, current market value of the property? Sarah, that's what you wanted as well? Okay. Ask questions. Let me know if you got questions before I move. All right. Yamili just kicked herself out. When I said kick everybody out so no distractions, she's the one that leaves. If you're not getting out, I am. All right. All right. Would it be wrong if you added with for this one right here, Daphne? Right here, it will not work if you put 0.03. Nope. If you add 172,300, if you add 0.03, then it'll give you 172,300.03. So here would have to be percentage. Perla, remembering the 103% might be the hard part. Got it? That's why I'm showing you alternatives. So when Steven put the answer and Crystal put the answers, right, they used the 3%, which is 5,169 in their calculations. So I'm showing you it's not incorrect, it just takes a little bit longer. Here I showed you a shortcut getting to the 103% because it's a 3% increase over the 100% value, right? And then here I'm showing you another shortcut, which is put on your calculator the value plus the increase, and here's the answer. All right? So you can use whatever works for you. Pick one and use it. Okay? And I'm going to keep on showing you the as many options as I can. Where did I get the 3%? Well, because it was a 3% increase, that's what the question says. Right there. Okay? So it was a 3% increase. And that's the 5,669. So that's what I... yeah, I don't know. That's why you want the simplest calculator you can get. If you use the simplest calculator, it should work. But the first way is usually the safest, 100 plus 3%. Yep. State exam. So you guys know you cannot use a mortgage calculator. You cannot use a scientific calculator. You want the POS calculator. You know what POS stands for? Plain old simple, Gil. Plain old simple. Not what you just said. No. Plain old simple. This world is going to end. Plain old simple. How do I know that's what you said? All right. Pearl is asking, so if you would have had a 3% decrease, then you would have done minus 3% or 97% of the value. It's always based on 100%, one whole unit, one whole pie. Always. Every calculation is based on you owning 100% of a value. 100% equals 1. Okay? So if it's minus 3%, then it's 97% of the value. If it's plus 3%, then it's 103% of the value. That's why we use 103 or 1.03. You said that I have ESPN. Okay. That's what it was? Explain the 97. Oh, okay, hold on. So right here. Perla asked if it was a decrease instead of an increase. So if it increases, it's 100% plus 3. If it's a decrease, then it's 100% minus 3. So that's why 97%. That's it. Okay? Vanessa, you said never mind. Where did I lose you? Oh, I mentioned this, didn't I? No, it's right here. Look. 3% of 172. So if we were to transfer here to 3%, then that would be the answer. Oh, sorry. Right there. So if I were to erase this and put 3%, then the answer is 5,169. But they're not asking you how much it increased in value. Right? That would be the 5,169 if the question was how much it increased. What they're asking you is what the current value is, which is 103% of the original. Okay? Perla, either or. But that's it. Either times 0.97% or times 0.97. Where's Millie? Let me see you. There you are. What's up? Thank you. All right. Everybody else is in. Great. Question coming through. Carrie, how are you on YouTube? Let me know if you're good so far. Daphne, basic calculator doesn't have percentage key. Unless you're using a calculator from 1960 something. They all come with percentage keys. The most basic calculator comes with it. Okay? She's kind of like the only one that really follows the rule of putting the question mark. Hey, I'm about to type. Wait for me. Oh, your Mac calculator doesn't have it. Yeah. Mac. You cannot bring a Mac calculator to the state exam anyway. Imagine she walked in with a laptop. We're about to take the exam and here's my computer. Yeah, sucks. Ah, Crystal, this was awesome. You should have got a Dell. Does anybody remember that? Should have got a Dell? Not the Singer, the laptop. And listen, Steven, back in the day, yeah, Dell sucked big time. They're getting way better. They're getting way better. The only thing I used Dell for when I was building infrastructures for bigger companies, networking and all that stuff, the servers were okay. But for personal use, yeah, they sucked big time. Adele. Is it bad that I'm picturing you singing, Gil? Anyway. Carrie says, I love Max. Hey. Sure. Happens. You don't know better, it's okay. Talia says, what if the purchase was 3 years ago? Okay, so Talia, for state exam, they won't ask you compound interest or compounds, but if you were, you would do 3% for the year, then 3% of that result plus 3% of the next result. So she's asking if it was 3% and it's been 3 years, right? So that would be a compound increase. Got it? All right. Did I tell you guys that the steering wheel was perfect? Did I? All right, let's go one more time. Now we have the IRV formula. Who remembers what IRV formula is? And the answer is nobody, right? IRV, what is that? Okay. It's when we're talking about income determining the value of a property. So this was chapter 16, appraisals. And it's when we say that it's an investment property. There's not enough properties to compare to, right? So we need to look at the income that the property brings in order to figure out the value of each different property. You guys remember that? NOI, net operating income and all that good stuff. Expenses. Yes? Okay, good. So, Carrie, good save. I'll pretend I didn't read what you wrote. So, IRV formula. Here's an example. An investor wants to make an offer on an apartment building whose annual income is $225,000. Income, $225,000 after deducting for expenses. So this is we already know this is the net, NOI. To go through with the purchase, the investor insists on a 10% capitalization rate. 10% cap rate. What is the most that the investors would pay for this property? All right? So again, they give us two numbers, but they could have given us 3 or 4. If you guys remember, we have PGI, potential gross income. That means 100% occupied. They're not telling you here, so they kept it simple, right? We have vacancy rates, let's say 5%, right? So minus 5% of the PGI. And we get to the EGI, effective gross income. Then we would deduct for expenses to reach NOI. So in this case, they already gave you the net. So it's a lot simpler. We only got two numbers here to deal with. Net income and 10%. So let's go here. Clear everything out. I will get there. Okay. Clear everything out. We're trying to figure out what? Value, right? Trying to figure out value, correct? Where does value go? This is what we're trying to figure out, value. Then we have two numbers. And the reason why I put the question marks first is because the number is so big that a lot of people determined to put it here instead of on top. But income is a portion of the value, correct? A value can never be equal to the income. That would be really bad. So because it's a part, portion, or income, part, portion, income, then this goes on top. What number goes on top? 225,000. So this is the annual NOI. Remember, the number that goes here, and I'm going to mention in a little bit again, number that goes here is annual net operating income. So after expenses. What other number do we have, guys? %. Where does 10% go? Right here. Or 0.10. Guys, if we have a number on top and we have a number at the bottom, what do? We divide. So the value is 2,250,000. That's the value. That's how much we would pay for this property. It brings $225,000 clean every year. What's the value of this property? 2,250,000. Did you guys realize we went through three different types of formulas? One tool? Not bad, right? So forget formulas. Just know what to put in these tools. This is one tool. The other tool is your calculator. Okay? Why 10%? Cap rate right here. Right here. It was in the question. Cap rate. Carrie says it's great. Awesome. You guys got it? Great. So, something to remember. Oh, hold on. Daphne, question coming through. Steven, what the heck is he? Seriously. What were you chewing on? A gummy? Cap rate is the most of the value. Okay, so cap rate, it's the percentage that we can expect a property to bring. It's the most that somebody will pay for a property in the particular area. So if this property says that this type of property where I'm at, right, demands roughly an 8% cap rate, then 8% is the max percentage that you're going to find in terms of value. If it's 10%, then that's what we expect in this type of property, in this type of area. So yes, the capitalization or rate of return will give you the most value that somebody will pay. Okay? So yes, that's what it is, Daphne. Yeah, Carrie. It's a mug with the kids' pictures. Yep. Get one with a school logo? I have it too. But I thought the kids were a little bit better right now. I got school logo. You guys good? All right, important point. In any IRV or PRB or PBR problem, the rate, interest, appreciation, etc. is usually annual rate, and income is annual income. That you have to remember. So, if monthly income is given, what must you do? Multiply by 12. Something that a lot of you forget. I'm going to show you later how you forget it. But something a lot of you forget, which is to multiply or divide by 12, depending on what the question is. So, here's an example. Maria Suarez owns a 4-family home. Rents are $525, $575, $600, and $650 a month. Operating expenses average $375 a month. If investors expect a cap rate of 11%, what should she expect for the property? Well, we need to figure out what is the net operating income, right? So 525 plus 575 plus 600 plus 650 minus the 375 a month. This is the monthly NOI. But is monthly the number we need? No. So we need to multiply it by 12 to figure out the annual net operating income. That's the most important. The annual net operating income. So net clean, they bring $1,975 every month. Yearly, they bring $23,700 a year. You divide that by the cap rate, and we have value. So this property is worth $215,454.54. You guys got it? Thumbs up? Questions? Nope. Vanessa just said, oh God. So, what's up, Vanessa? Yamili, question. Daphne, question. What's happening? Let's see what comes out of here. Oh God, question, question, question. Can you go back to chapter 1? Another question? Why am I subtracting the expense and adding up per year? Because they gave us, I got lost in the value of the property. Okay. All right, so hold on. They gave you that in the question. All right, let me show you. Let's go back to the question. They said, guys, that this is how much it brings a month. Each unit, the 4 family units, right? Each unit brings this a month, right? The average monthly expense is $375. Right? Good so far? Okay. So we're going to add the rents and we're going to subtract the expenses right here. We're going to add the rents, subtract the expense. When you add the rents, it gives you $1,975 monthly NOI. Now, so that's the answer. Who was asking that? Daphne, right? That's what we get. But I told you guys that the income, the NOI, must be an annual income. So once you have that monthly value, you need to multiply it by 12. Because to put in the steering wheel, to put it up here, It has to be always the annual NOI. Annual. This is key. Okay? All right? So when we go back here, what was the annual NOI? 1,975 times 12 is $23,000 a year. We put that into the steering wheel, and it's 23,700 divided by, so Yamili, you're asking me about the 0.11, right? That's the number they gave us. They said the investor expects a cap rate of 11%. So this number was given to you in the question. So that's the number we're going to put here, 11%. So 23,000, so now Vanessa, 23,000 is the NOI divided by the cap rate equals value. Got it? Question, okay. Yamili got it? You want to know if your answer is correct? Okay, hold on. You got 22,500 in the example. 22 million. Which example? This one? In this one? No. It's not 22 million, it's 2,250,000. So you have an extra zero there. So Daphne, you're asking why? Okay, hold on. Right here. So here you're asking, why not add all the expenses per year, then subtract from income? That would be longer calculations. The book is way easier. That's where I got confused. All right, so it's not the book, because the book shows you what I just showed you. I was just following whatever the book says. But the question gave you everything monthly. Now you can add the, you could have added, hold on, right here. You could have added the income, figure out what was monthly, right? You could have added the total income, figure out what was monthly, and then multiply by 12. But then, Daphne, you would have to multiply this by 12, the expenses, and it will be the same thing. So because we have two types of monthly numbers, which is income and expense, why not just figure out right away the monthly NOI and then get to multiply by 12? Right? If they give you monthly numbers, figure out what the monthly result is, multiply by 12. Thanks, Avanu. I appreciate it there. Karen. I got a Karen on YouTube. Do I know Colin? No. Not at the top of my head, no. Is it 4? I don't know what you're asking. I'm sorry. Let me know what you're asking, please. All right, Daphne, we're good? Where's Daphne? I lost you. Yep, okay, good. All right, so that's it, guys. We're pretty much we're done with percentages. We're done with taxes, insurance, which is calculated the same way, and we're done with income. Now we're gonna go to area and volume. Okay, and if you guys go to the cheat sheet that I prepared for you, you have a section for area and volume. So Carrie, if you're watching, let me know if this is there on your cheat sheet that I sent you. But we have area. That's what we're going to talk about, rectangular areas right now. All right, everybody's here. Everybody good? Great. So, back to the book. Thank you, Carrie. All right, so back to the book. We got area and volume. To calculate rectangles or squares, the formula is width times length equals area. That's the formula. Simple as that. Width times length equals area. Now, here's the thing. I created from the steering wheel, I created a version for area. Why? Because steering wheel that I just showed you, that circular, right? The ninja face, whatever you guys want to call it, right? Has 3 elements that you need to fill in, correct? Because percentage problems contain 3 elements, correct? Area contains 3 elements. So I use the same concept. I use the exact same concept to calculate area. So for instance, if I have a rectangle, okay, we're going to put right here width. I'll explain it better in a second. We're going to put right here length, and inside is the area. If you look at the cheat sheet, that's what you have. Now what I'm going to do also, make a little hole over here, and I'm going to do this. Divide, and multiply. Good? All right. So here's what I'm going to show you guys. If the numbers are outside, so if it's width and length, the 2 numbers that they give you, what do? We multiply. If they give you area and they give you width, what do? We're going to divide the inside number by the outside number. So we divide. If they give you area and they give you length, right? What are we going to do? We're going to divide. The inside number divides by the outside number. So it's always area divided by one of the external numbers, okay, width or length. If you have the external numbers, you always multiply, okay? So very, very similar to the steering wheel. Good so far? We're going to put in practice right now, okay? For those of you panicking and hyperventilating, I'm going to explain right now. Okay. So the example here in the book says the area of a rectangular lot measures 100 feet wide by 200 feet deep. What they told you is 100 times 200. Okay? When it says by, means times. If it says per, means divide. Okay? So we're going to go here. This is width, length, and area. So what did they tell you? They told you that it was 100 feet wide by 200 feet deep. What was the size of the area? If the numbers are outside, what do? Multiply. So we have 20,000 square feet. Okay? Numbers outside, you multiply. 20,000 square feet. All right? Now, what if, I'm going to give you the variables of the question as well. What if they said, we have a 20,000 square foot lot that measures 100 feet wide. How deep is it? Well, inside number divides by outside number. So guys, 20,000 divided by 100 is 200 feet. What if they told you a 200 feet deep lot with an area that has an area of 20,000 square feet? How wide is it? Same thing. Inside number divides by outside number, so it's 100. All right? So I took again the concept of the steering wheel, adapted to area. 3 elements, so there has to be always a common way to do it, right? Any questions before I move forward? Questions? If I have this copyrighted now. That's a good one. Should I? It's easy for you? It helps? Great. Carrie, confused. Where are you confused? Tell me. Not one day. All right. You don't know where you're confused? Which part got, like, when I said 100 by 200, you're good with that, right? Yes. Okay. Now, I told you after that the question could have been, they give you the area and they give you one of the outside numbers. So all I said is that the inside number divides by the outside number to figure out the other number. So if they give you the width, then it's 20,000 divided by 100 equals 200. If they give you the length, then it's the inside number, the area, divided by the length, it gives you the width. So, okay, so Mina Gil just replied to you. If you see by, it means you multiply. So if it's 80 feet by 100 feet by 200, it means multiply. If it says per, means divide. Can we do it one more time? All right, Britney Spears. I beat you to it, Gil. Again. And Crystal. It's okay. All right, so nope, I won't. So I refuse to say that one. Let's see. Let's say that we have, the question is, we have a half an acre lot. Okay? One of the things to remember is that you have to bring it always to square feet. But let's say we have a half an acre lot. That means it's 21,780 square feet. Okay? And they told you that the width is 180. No, 80. The width is 80. How deep is this lot? Carrie and everybody else? Please tell me you didn't win that contest. Carrie? Guys, let me know what's the answer. So you got the answer. You're good. Where did you get confused? 272,000. I'm sorry, 272 feet. 0.25. Right? Nobody saw that. Right there. That's it. She's like, oh, that's it? I'm like, yeah. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Everybody got it? Any questions? She's like, okay then, thank you. What is it with the students and either pets or children? I see that, Yanessa. Let me see, turn around. Everybody see Yanessa's dog? That's cute. Daphne, I'm waiting on your question. There you go. How did you get the square feet? How would you calculate? So I'm going to show you that now. I was just trying to give a straight number, but I'll show you how to get to half an acre. Guys, you got to stop. You Stephen, Gil, I'm surprised Heather and Chad haven't jumped into this one yet. But can you leave Brittany out of this? All right. So Abanub says, last time I asked my parents from a dog or for a dog, and they told you no, you're enough. I agree. I don't need any pets at home. I got 4 kids. It's already enough to handle. Yep, I agree with that. Gil, toxic, I know. All right. Here's something you guys need to know. The first figure given, always front feet. First figure given is always front feet. Area is always expressed in square units. That's why I brought it back to square feet. When I said half an acre, square feet. So let me show you this right here. I need to clear these numbers. Okay. So something you need to remember. If we said that the lot was 100 by 200, the first number, if they say 100 by 200, just like that, the first number is always the front, right? It's always width. Width equals front foot or frontage. If you hear front foot or frontage, they mean the same. So the first figure given is always the width or the front foot, frontage. Why? Because it's facing the road. So it's the lot begins always from the entry point. So the first number given is always, always, always front or frontage. Why do we need to know this? Because if they say that lots in the area are sold at $200 a front foot, then this lot is 100 feet, right? 100 feet wide. How much would you pay for it? Well, 100 times $200. The other numbers don't mean anything. If they say sold at $200 a front foot, you just need the first number. Okay? Got it? Questions? Heather. For those of you that forgot who Britney Spears was, Heather just shared with you. For those of you attempting to forget Britney Spears, you just got reminded. Correct. So the first figure given is always the entry point. So when we start measuring a lot, Daphne, when we start measuring a parcel, it will be a point in the beginning will be here or will be here. It depends on the surveyor. And then it goes around. Remember that? Goes around the lot to the next points and so on. Yep. Very surprised. Okay. The other thing I told you guys to remember is that area is always expressed in square feet. Right? Sorry, square feet. So if they say acre, if you have half an acre, you need to bring an acre down to square feet. Now you have it right here. 1 acre. Right here. 1 acre is 43,560 square feet. Or 4 squirrels, and they are in 1 acorn car, acre, squirrels, 4 squirrels, they're going down Route 35 at 60 miles per hour. So 4 squirrels, Route 35, 60 miles an hour, and that's how much you have in 1 acre. 1 AC equals 4 squirrels. Okay? So it's a story. You guys need to remember this story when you go to the exam, right? Because it's very simple. You got to remember the squirrels. They're going Route 35. They're going down to the beach. If you guys don't know where Route 35 heads, but towards the shore. And that's it. They're going under the speed limit so they don't get caught by the cops. Because remember, if a cop stops a squirrel, it's going to be a little suspicious, right? Why is a squirrel driving the car? Especially an acorn car, right? So 4 squirrels, they're going down Route 35 at 60 miles an hour. 1 acre or 1 acorn car equals 43,560 square feet. That's it. Jane is looking at me like, Bruno, you're nuts. Believe it or not, no picky English. That's what you say to the cops? Good one. So believe it or not, I learned this 4 years ago now. 4 years ago, one of my students, as I was teaching math, one of my students goes like, my daughter taught me this the other day. And she said she learned this in school. 4 squirrels, Route 35, going 60 miles an hour. Now, the funniest thing is that I had a particular person in that class that said, that's stupid. Right? That was the answer. As soon as like he was sitting in the front, she was sitting all the way in the back. He was like, that's stupid. And funny enough, when we got to the math chapter, because this was addressed in the previous chapter, when we get to the math chapter, guess who remembered the story? The same person that said, that's stupid. As soon as I ask how much is an acre, 4 squirrels, Route 35, 60 miles an hour. Okay. All right. Somebody said the other day, 4 old men. I think it was Lewis during the live on YouTube. He said 4 old men going down Route 35 at 60 miles an hour. All right. The thing is that 4 old men doesn't match SQ, squirrels, right? SQ. That's the squirrels. Acorn. That's what it is. Vanessa, that's what you tell the cops? I don't know what you're saying. Where's Vanessa? That's what you tell the cops? They're coming for you. You tell them you don't understand or you don't understand me? Which one don't you understand, the cop or me? Me? There goes Newark. Yep. Gil, my favorite movie, number 1. 2 and 3, The last one was not that bad, but number 1, the original Bad Boys. Oh yeah. Andrea asked me if I like squirrels. I prefer Alvin. Chipmunks. Rat Race? I saw Rat Race. Alright. Carrie, you're good? Yep. Alright guys, any questions here? We're good? Yes? No? Okay, great. So, going back to... Oops, sorry. Going back to... Okay, Daphne has a question. So we go back here. Waiting for the question. Go ahead. I crossed it out. Most likely, no. Most likely, you're not going to need cubic feet. All right, so the next one I'm going to show you guys is triangle. Now, if you have the physical book, I'll give you 2 seconds to correct this in the physical book right at the bottom. If you have the ebook, I already corrected for you. I'll keep on pointing out, guys, typos that we have in the book. This is one of them. When we talk about the 5 days, it's 5 business days. The 3 days, 3 business days. I keep on putting it there. And there's a few other typos, like tomorrow or Monday in the questions, I'll point out as well. For some reason, every time there's a new edition, they find a way to get more typos while they correct some of the old typos. So I just found a couple of typos in the new book as I'm reading it. So yeah. This is why I have to stop the classes and study what the book has so I can present it to you guys, besides highlighting the whole book as well. But yep, they cannot have one edition free of typos. But they're not that bad compared to other editors. Publishers, I'm sorry. All right, you guys ready? Triangle. You guys can use this one. Area equals base times height divided by 2. I want you not to use it. I'm going to show you another way. If you guys go to the cheat sheet, look what I did. Your husband explains the funny thing? What is the funny thing? All right, so the formula, if you guys see, in the book says base times height divided by 2. Oh, he explained to you the acres and the squirrels? I didn't know if you were talking about the cops or you're talking about me. You were just pointing. I don't know what it was. I'm sorry. But he explained it to you. And you got it. Cool. Right. Remember, you cannot take your husband to the exam. All right. So in the book, it says base times height divided by 2 equals area. Right? I want you guys to pay attention to what I'm going to say right now. Heather, I would advise you not to. Go in separate instances. But yes, I'm going to show you something else. This is the formula for triangle. This is what I want you to learn. Okay? Because the area of a rectangle or a square is width times length equals area. What I'm going to show you now is this. This is a triangle, right? But if you close the box, what do we have? A square, correct? Great. So what's missing in this square? What's missing here? If you guys notice, these two parts, if we put them together, it's another triangle. Even triangle. So what it's missing half. You got it? So if we were to do the other formula, it would have been width times length equals area, correct? Right? But because a triangle is half of a square, we have to divide it by 2. So width times length divided by 2 equals area. Okay? For the engineers that we have here in the class, I know, when you go real life application for engineering or whatever, it won't apply like that. But for the basic calculations that we have to do, we don't need to go crazy. Just remember that a triangle is half of a square. And let me show you that. Let me prove it to you. I'm sorry, did you just say tangent? Anyway, I know, but it works. I'm trying to simplify things. I'm trying to explain the easiest way possible. All right. Do we have two different type of triangles here? Okay. Actually, they're pretty much the same. I made a mistake here. Hold on. I want to make this a little bit more. So kind of, right? All right, two different types of triangles here. Ready? We're going to close the box. Oh. Sorry. Why I keep on doing this? Work with me, technology. Work with me. Okay, that I showed you before. Different angles. We'll get there. Okay. So again, two different types of triangles. I'm going to close the box. One is a mirror of the other. So again, width times length. And then we're going to divide it by 2 because we're missing this half. Right? Correct? Okay. Different type of triangle. Again, the same thing. Close it. And as I showed earlier, we're missing that half. So again, we need to figure out width, as some people call it height. And we have to figure out length, or some people call it base, divided by 2. Simple. It's exactly the same thing. Just remember to close the box. All right? Abanub is about to quit his profession because they taught him differently. Sorry if I simplify things too much. All right. Ready? We got more. What about this one? So we figure out how to calculate rectangles. We figure out how to calculate triangles. What about irregular shapes? How do we calculate irregular shapes? Anybody? Do we complete it to make a box? Separate them, square then triangle, cut out the rectangle, split into 2 shapes. Correct. So what we do first is we're going to make a cut right here. When we make that cut, I didn't ask for answers, Abanu, but thank you. We're going to go step by step again. We're going to cut into 2 known shapes. The first one is a rectangle, and it's easy to calculate because we have it right here. Correct? 6, 6, 16, and 16. So the area here is 6 times 16 equals 96. So the total area here is 96 square feet. Good so far? Great. But that's the rectangle. What about the triangle? How do we get to the triangle? We only have one number, right? We only have number 6. Six times 4. Natalie, where's the 4? Where did it came from? Now is where we close the box. Let's close the box first. Okay. How does that help us? Well, we know that up to this line, to the red line, it's 16, right? If we were going all the way to the end here, it would have been 20. So 20 minus 16 equals 4. That's what we're missing there. 4. I see you, Peter. You guys just switch. I got it. Mm-hmm. Did you guys get it? Heather says, no, we have two. No, you only had one. Now you got two. All right. So what's the formula for triangles? Width times length divided by 2. So 6 times 4, right? And that equals 24. Divided by 2 equals 12. So we have this area right here is 12 square feet. But is that what we need? Is 12 square feet the total area? No. We separated it to calculate independently. Now we need to add them. So it's going to be 96 plus 12 equals 108. And this is the total square feet. 108 is the total square feet. Questions? Anybody? No questions? All right, good. Carrie, whoever's watching on YouTube besides Carrie, you have any questions? Is it good? You got hurt on that one? Carrie just posted the hurt emoji. Daphne, question. Carrie, throw a question. Come on. Where'd you get lost? Can I give another example using a different shape? This is the shape you're going to have in the state exam, but we have another one coming up. Okay? You have to remember one thing. If it's irregular shapes, it doesn't matter which shape it is. If it's irregular, you need to always cut it. Pay attention. You need to always cut it into known shapes. And then you add everything up. So you need to always cut it. For instance, here, the next one is this. I'm not going to do this one, but what you need to do here is exactly what I told you. Cut this into known shapes. You have a rectangle, right? And you have another rectangle. So now you have two areas that you can calculate and then add them together. You got it? Yes? No? Maybe? Daphne? Daphne? Yep, okay. Carrie, you need time to process. How did I get to the 12 square feet? Yep, let's go up. Did you figure out, Carrie, did you figure out the 4 feet? Let me know if you got the 4 feet before I move forward. Yes. Okay. So if it's a triangle, it's missing half of it, right? So if we got the 4 feet, then you know that the area, to calculate area for a triangle, is 6 divided by 4. So times 4, right? Width times length. And then because it's half of a square, we're going to divide by 2 right here. And that equals 12. Daphne got kicked out, but you're back. Right? Nope, she was not back. She got frozen. All right, did you get it now, Carrie? Can you take a picture of that? Sure. Hold on. Just trying to get you the whole thing. Go ahead. All right. Guys, do we have any other questions regarding this? No? Simple enough? Thumbs up. Let me see if you guys got it. Great. So again, I try to simplify as much as I can, even against the gods of math. I'm sorry. Abanu, Peter. You know, you guys probably hating me right now. But, hey. So here's the thing, guys. There's nothing else. Thanks. There's nothing else to learn here. Usually, I would do these with you right here in class, but it's 8:30. So we had a lot of questions in the beginning. I addressed all of them. You guys did start. Very late. Some of you. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is ask you guys, and we'll start with this tomorrow. It will be part of the reviews. We'll start with math. What I'm going to do is ask you guys to do the first question of each section at the end of this chapter. So the first question. So number 1, 5, 7. First one, it's divided into sections. You can do all of them. By the way, this is page 196. You need the chart that's there. But do the first one of each. And then tomorrow, I'll review the answers with you. That's how we will start. So guys, for tomorrow, and Daphne, so because you bring a lot of questions, which is great. But for tomorrow, we're not going to go with any question regarding another chapter. We're just going to start by reviewing these questions. It's the first of each section. All right? You should do all of them, and I'll address the rest after the reviews. Okay? But I will start by reviewing these ones tomorrow. Is that clear? Great. So guys, with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go early. 8:30, so enjoy. Whoever wants to stay and ask me questions, I'll address those questions now. If not, then I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30. And for those of you that will be in the morning, I'll see you at 10 a.m. All right? Good night, guys. Good night. Good night. Carrie, good night. Be here tomorrow, exam prep. Okay. No problem, Gil. Chad says he's going to study chapter 1. Okay. Catherine says, can we review IRV? Sure, I'll get there. Daphne, for the review questions, chapter 21, I had issues with some questions. Can you explain them like yesterday? Yeah, so let's start with IRV first, okay? And then you tell me, just type there whatever questions you have. Sorry, I just need to sit down a little bit. So start typing whatever questions you have, or you want to speak. That's what you want? Daphne? Good night, Vanessa. Brian, what pages are the questions? It's the end of chapter 22, so it's page 305 and so on. But if you're in the student portal, I divide it into sections. So the review questions are separated in the student portal. Okay, but it's page 305, 306, 307, 308, and 309 for the math, okay? But you can do all, which you should, but the ones I'm going to review is just the first of each section. So it's divided into sections, as you can see: area, financing, investments, and so on. All right. All right, Catherine, you wanted to review IRV. You wanted to review IRV as far as the question, or you want to review what it is? A question example? Everything. All right. Hold on, I'm just trying to find where I have it. Okay, so IRV formula is based on this. So if I cannot find, for instance, a building to compare to, like there's three approaches to value, right? Three approaches. One of them is the sales comparison approach. So we're going to look at different properties that are similar in the area, like a one family compared to one family, and so on. But if there's not enough sales, then we need to use other types. So it's either the cost approach or the income approach. In this case, income approach is usually more applicable towards investment properties like 5 units or more, because there's not many sales to compare to, right? So we have, when we have 5 units or more, we look at the total income that it could bring, and that's the PGI, potential gross income. And that's assuming that it's 100% occupied. So that's what we're going to look at first. If it was 100% occupied, how much money would it bring? If the rents are $500 and there's 5 units, then we multiply by 5, then by 12 because it's a whole year, and that would be 100% occupied. Okay? But we know very well that the building is not going to be 100% occupied always. There's always somebody leaving, there's always somebody moving in, right? But there's that gap in between with a month or two that a unit might be vacant. So, okay, Perla. So it might be vacant. So we're going to deduct the loss. That's what we have here. We're going to deduct the loss for that potential vacancy or people not paying, so rent collection. Okay? Now, why do we want to deduct the loss? So we can get to, So we can get to the EGI, which is the effective gross income. So I know that the average loss that I have is 5%. So if it was 100% occupied minus the 5%, how much do I really get from this property? 95% of the potential rent. Okay? Now, for us to be able to calculate the value of the property, we need to deduct the expenses, right? Because for me to calculate the value, it's based on NOI, which is how much do I get. So we're going to deduct the cost of operation. Let's say it's $30,000. Whatever number we got here on 95%, we deduct $30,000. And that brings us to NOI, net operating income. And this is the number we really need to use. Good so far? Yeah. All right. Now, for us to figure out value, there's three formulas. There's NOI divided by cap equals value, NOI divided by value equals cap, or value times cap equals NOI. Do you need these? No. You just need to know where to put NOI in the steering wheel, where to put cap, and where to put value. The steering wheel will give you these variables. Okay, the steering wheel will tell you when to divide or when to multiply according to what you have. Okay? So here's an example. Let's say they give you the NOI, which is after expenses. So after we calculated all this, right? After we calculated all this, NOI for this property is $24,000. The value of the property is $300,000. If we put this in the steering wheel, it would have been NOI. Sorry, I have it down here. It would have been NOI divided by cap equals value, right? I'm sorry, NOI divided by value equals cap rate, so 8%, and vice versa. If my property brings more money, if the cap rate we expect is 8%, then my property is worth more than your property. How much was your property worth? $300. How much did your property bring? $24,000. How much does my bring? $25,000. You got it? That's why we do comparables. If the 8% is what's acceptable in the area, what we expect in the area, then that's what we apply to our property. And it's worth a little bit more. Okay? Now here's a good example of everything I've been saying. So let's say $30,000 is the potential gross income. That's what we could expect this property to bring. Okay? $300,000. Vacancy rate is 5%. If we take 5%, what's the EGI? EGI is $285,000. So this is what I really can expect from my property, $285,000. If the expenses are $35,000, then what's my NOI? The net operating income is $250,000 annual net operating income. If I expect a cap rate, what's the value of the property? NOI divided by 7%, and this property is worth $3,571,428,000. You got it? If you look like you got a question, let me know. Where's the 7% from the question? So in this case, in the question, they gave you all these numbers. So it's the question. This was an example of a question. They gave you all this. They're asking value. So you need to go through these steps. Step 1, 2, 3. You got it? Any question? Nope. All right, good. So we're done with IRV? Okay. Daphne, can I go back to the first example? Here? Okay. All right, let me see what we got in the questions. David, maybe go over another shape. What do you mean? David? He's walking around. Can't stay still, huh? Haven't seen you stay still in one class. All right. Another example of shapes. You want rectangle, or are you talking about irregular shapes? You always have to go somewhere. Like I said, you never stay still. You haven't stayed still one day in class. Okay. This is an irregular shape. It's not a rectangle, it's not a square, and it's not a triangle. Right? So what do we have to do? Very simple. You always have to cut it into known shapes. Always. So now this is a rectangle that has 6 feet in the front, 6 feet in the back, right? And then 16 feet on top, 16 feet in the bottom. How do we calculate the area? 6 times 16. So this is 96 square feet. You good? I'm giving you time to settle. 96 square feet. Now we're going to go here. Zoom in to the next part we need to calculate. If this went all the way to the end, how much would it be? It would be 20. Right? So we need to figure out the difference. What's over here? For you to figure out what's over here, we need to make the 20 that it would be 20 minus the 16 that stops right here, right? So that equals 4. So right here at the bottom is 4, right here on top is 4. Okay? Now, if this whole thing here is 6, but it says that down here is 3, that means that we have 3 feet here, 3 feet here, correct? So the area of this rectangle is 4 times 3. So 12 square feet. You got it? All you have to do always is cut into known shapes. What do we need to do next? Same thing. 96 plus 12 equals 108. So the total area of this room or lot or whatever is 108 square feet. You got it? Did I just lose you? Where's David? Gone? Okay. I was about to say, I give you an answer and you just get out. You're typing? Okay. All right. You're welcome. I think, Daphne, you have more questions, right? You posted them? (16, 19, 22, and 5. I'm going to go in order since you don't. Is that okay? All right. This is from chapter 21. So we are on page 297. Question number 2 was this. You sure? You sure it's this one? One of the questions? Oh, you thought it was chain of title. Okay. So the chain of title is established by the recordings. Yes. But they're asking date and time is for what? Why do we need to have a date and time? Recording is one thing, but they're asking you the date and time. Why? Well, to establish priority, to establish who's first. Because if I record one document, January 20th of 2019, and then I record another one on February 5th of 2020, right? Which one goes first? So we're talking about priority. That's what it is. That's what they asked you, because the question was date and time. If they ask you why do we record stuff, right, it's still for priority. It's all about priority. The chain of title is the fact that you can go after whatever's recorded, right, and figure out who was first, who was second, who's entitled, who's not entitled. Okay? Next question is 5. All right, the principle of caveat emptor states that if the buyer buys into a title problem, the fault lies with who? Remember, information is available. So caveat emptor means let the buyer beware, meaning constructive notice, meaning it's available, right? So the buyer, remember, is the one that's responsible for pulling out the title. So the research of the title is the buyer's responsibility. So if the buyer did not search title, they did not request the title search, or did not go investigate the title, then whose fault is it? Is it the seller's? No. Is it ours? No. Is it the lender? No. The responsibility to check title is on the buyer's end. You got it? Caveat emptor means let buyer beware. So that's right here in the beginning. Right here. Caveat emptor. Notice. Okay, that means information is available and you're responsible for researching it. Okay? This is on page 281. Okay? The next one was 16. All right. The primary purpose of a deed is to do what? That's not it? Yep. Oh, I went to the wrong chapter. Okay, sorry. 21. Got it. This one? Okay. So, question 16 says, a buyer of $150,000 home has paid $2,000 as earnest money and has a loan commitment for 70% of the purchase price. How much more cash does the buyer need? Well, how much is the down payment? What is the down payment on this property? So you need to remember that you have 100% purchase price, which is 150,000. That's purchase price, right? And then the loan, or LTV, is 70%, right? LTV is 70%. How much is the down payment? Down payment is 30%. Okay? Daphne? Oh, thought I lost you. Okay, so down payment is 30%. We're good so far? Okay. So the down payment is $45,000. Because it's 30% of 150,000, the purchase price, right? Yes? No? Maybe? Daphne? Okay. I'll wait so I can go step by step. Yep. That's what it is. Good? So now comes the other question. We already put $2,000, and this was the good faith deposit, so GFD, or earnest money deposit. Correct? So if we already put $2,000, then we have to deduct the $2,000 we already put there. How much money do we still need to bring at closing? 43,000. Daphne, looks like you're freezing, so I'm not sure if you're getting what I'm saying or not. And lost her. And she's back. You good? Is everybody good? Great. Hold on. Catherine. You good? You sure? Okay, that's what you wanted to see? Okay, got it. Daphne, you're typing a question? Or just random? Catherine, you good now? Okay. Why is the $2,000 subtracted? Because you gave it up front. It says you already paid $2,000 as earnest money, as good faith deposit. Remember you asked me earlier, right in the beginning, if it was a credit to the buyer? It's a credit because you gave it up front with a contract. It's a credit towards the down payment or closing costs, whatever you prefer. In this case, because it's not talking about closing costs, it's just talking about deposits, right? I mean down payment, then you come up with $43,000. 45,000, which is what you needed, minus what you already gave up front, 43,000. That's how much money you need for closing. Good? All right. Next one was 19. Just math questions. Carlos. So if it was the state exam, you would have been good. Very good. So school exam, you need 83, but for state exam, you would have been done already. So you're almost there. Perfect. Good night, Carlos. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, so 19. The building was purchased for $285,000. So purchase price. 10% down payment. Good night, Mina. 10% down payment, right? And he has a loan for the balance. That means the loan is 90%. Balance, 90%. If the lender charged the buyer 2 discount points, how much cash did the buyer need to come up with at closing if the buyer incurred no other costs? Right? Is that what we have? What are points? What are points? They're a percentage of loan. Points are a percentage of loan. So if they're asking for 2 points, they're asking for 2%. Good? Yes or no? Let me know if you're with me. Okay, great. Now, if points are based on the loan, right? Then what are the points here? How much are the points? You need to figure out what the loan is, right? So the loan is 90% of 285. 285, right? Times 90%. Yep, Catherine, it's 1 point equals 1%. So the loan is 256,500. Loan. Okay? The down payment is 28,500. Okay, that we got. Down payment, 28,500, because down payment is 10%, right? Are we good so far? Okay. The loan is 256,500. Down payment is 28,500. Now, how much do we have in points? Well, if the loan is 256,500, we're going to multiply by 2 points, which is 2%. Which is 5,130, and this is the amount of points. Okay, so we calculated 3 things so far. There's 1 more missing. Right? We calculated the loan amount, we calculated the down payment, we calculated the points, but they're asking how much do we need at closing? Well, 28,500 plus 5,130. So the answer is C. Catherine, you good? Okay. Anybody else? Daphne, are we good? Okay. David, you're good? Okay. And Daphne has a question. Let's see what happens. You're confused about the value? What do you mean? What value? The property was purchased for $285,000, right? Right? That's the property, the purchase. Okay. Minus the down payment, how much is the loan? The loan is $285,000. I'm sorry, $256,000 because it's the 285 minus the down payment. Right? Daphne? Okay. So points are a percentage of the loan. If they ask for 2 points, they're asking for 2% of the loan. Loan amount, $256,500. Right? So what we have to do is the $256,500, which is the loan amount, times the 2%, which are the 2 points. And that's where 5,130 come in. These are the points. Got it? Catherine, why do I have 90%? Because the down payment is 10%. So what's the difference between 100% purchase and 10% down payment? 90%. That's the loan amount. I'm waiting. Okay. Either way. Right? Either way, because minus 10% is minus the down payment. Right? Which is equivalent to 90%. Oh, Sarah's back. Hi. It's okay. Is this recorded? Yeah. While we're here, it's recorded. It's still live on YouTube. You can go check it. Yeah. Multiplying by 90 because it's 90% of the purchase. You could have done it either way. It's fine. But it's 90% of the purchase. Okay? You good? Everybody good? If you did minus 10%, it works. It's the same. Don't worry about it. All right. Can I go to the next question? Daphne? Can I go to the next question? Okay. Next question is 20. I'm glad you went to this one. So I told you guys that when it comes to credits and debits, you just need to figure out who gets what, right? So it says right here, the year's town, county, and state taxes amount to $3,600, and they have been paid ahead for the calendar year. That means prepaid. That means the seller prepaid, right? They prepaid the taxes for the whole year. Now, if the closing is set for June 15th, which of the following is true? I personally do not care about any of this information because this is to trick you. Okay? I don't even care about the amount because it's to trick you. What you need to remember is that they have been paid, so they were prepaid. If it's prepaid, then who paid it? If it's prepaid, who paid the taxes? The seller before the closing. Correct. So who gets the credit? Is it the seller or the buyer? The seller gets the credit. So C is incorrect. Right? And then I told you guys, sorry. I told you guys also that if it's a credit to the seller, then the same amount is taken from the buyer. Because the buyer is the one that owes the seller. So look, does A have the same amount? No. So process of elimination? No. Does B have the same amount? No. So process of elimination? No. All you needed to remember, if it's prepaid, it's a credit for the seller, and then you have to match the amounts. It's as easy as that. There's no math calculation here. You just need to remember, prepaid, credit is to the seller, unpaid, credit is to the buyer, and then the amounts must match. That's your answer. Catherine? You got it? Okay. Daphne? We're good? If there's anybody still watching on YouTube, if you have questions, do ask. If there's anybody else here that still wants to ask questions, take advantage. If it's unpaid, it's a credit to the buyer, yes. If it's unpaid, it's going to be a credit to the buyer. Yep. If it's prepaid, it's a credit to the seller. And then just match the amounts. Because whatever's taken from one, it's given to the other. Ah, so nice. Gil, you went to eat? All right, anybody else has questions? If not, we're going to end this session. Any other questions? In 3, 2, 1. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, hold on. Gil has a question. Last minute. Is it about the pizza guy that you just wrote? All right, guys. You have a great evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5:30. Bye.